all the planets in the 8th house, all of them, every single planet in Vedic astrology is in the 8th house. Something never seen before. Man, this is gonna be tough. So in my test 7, given by a beautiful Shalini, she's a very good friend of mine, I provided you this chart, which was Gemini ascendant with all the planets in the 8th house. I mean, this is something I've never seen before. You know, it was Rahu in the 2nd house because Rahu and Ketu will always be separate. So one planet is going to be separate, which is Rahu, but everything was in the 8th house. And I'm sorry, I actually provided the wrong timing. It was 3 p.m., not 4 p.m. Okay. So let's pretend there might have been a man who could be born on this date, February 4th, 1962 at 3 p.m. in Los Angeles. Let's just pretend, because I'm sure there was some male born in that county or in that city, okay? And so let's pretend he sent me this chart. And when I saw this chart, I was like, whoa, holy moly. This is called holy moly of all the charts, everything in conjunction together. So let's see if this was to come to me, what kind of problems this guy would be running into. So first of all, this guy, and if you were on my Facebook, you probably already know the answer, because as soon as I got the chart, I posted it on my Facebook. So if you haven't liked me on Facebook, like me, you know, and I'm sure I would have a lot more people if the Facebook button says dislike. I want to be part of his group, but I want to dislike him. Anyway, so yes, this person has always suffered through mental depression and an anxiety. You know, they always, out of nowhere, he would just have severe depression. And look at what's happening to the moon. Moon is surrounded by all the malefic planets, including Rahu looking at the moon. Then poor Jupiter, who actually should help the moon, is debilitated. Okay. However, Jupiter is getting a Neech Bhanga, because planet that helps Jupiter gives a Neech Bhanga is Saturn. And both of these planets are in the 1st house from the moon. So if it either 1st, 4th, 7th, or 10th from the ascendant, or 1st, 4th, 7th, or 10th from the moon, gives a Neech Bhanga Raj Yoga. Okay, and as far as their wealth is concerned, let me tell you, this person has made huge sum of money, mega money. Okay, he works in the banking industry, which clearly shows, because 8th house represents loan and investments in banking. Okay, and then he has Lord of the 5th, 2nd, and 11th house in the 8th house, which represents finance and money. So he's in the investment banking sector, but he had suffered huge fluctuation in his lifetime. He has gone from making 10 million in 1 year, losing 9 million in the same year, making 15 again next year, losing half of it the next year. However, this guy has always, you know, made that money, even though he loses ups and downs, because 8th house represents sudden changes, you know, sudden reversals. And he has Viparit Raj Yoga, because Lord of the 6th, 8th, and 12th house are in the 8th house. So he has like triple Viparit Raj Yoga. I mean, awesome money-wise, you know, even though he knows himself that he loses the money, but he knows he always makes the money. And that's how investment banking and stock market is. You make it, you lose it. However, he has been divorced twice. He has no kids. So you can see why. I mean, this chart just shows why. First of all, the 7th house is debilitated in the 8th house, sitting with all the malefic, having the sight of Rahu there. Okay, so marriage never lasted. Plus Rahu in the 2nd house. But Rahu is actually providing a lot of money and worldly desire. Why? Because Rahu in Cancer, especially in Kendra, makes a person worldly. They always want to know all the big things and everything big. So this guy has a huge home, makes a lot of money, you know, and Rahu in the 2nd house with any affiliation or conjunction provides that money to him. But he's into the occult. He's absolutely into the occult. He's always into astrology, numerology, you know, tantric, magic, and he has done all sorts of things. So and no wonder his life is screwed up. Oh, he is having, very, very big yogas. Obviously, I told you Vipreet Raj Yoga. He's having something called Maharaj Yoga, but in the 8th house of sudden changes. Because, all the Kendra house lords and all the Trikon house lords are in the 8th house. All the financial Dhan Yoga lords, 2nd and 11th, are in the 8th. So this guy, massive amount of money, but massive amount of losses and gain. And this is how it's going to be all his life. He's going to make a lot, but the thing is, whenever he makes some, he puts it aside. So even though he may lose 3 million in 1 year, he still has money. And then the next year he might get 5 million. His relationship with his parents, has been just nil. So obviously the parents, you can see sun and moon surrounded by malefic planets. So it was just, you could just see it. Like, this person does have a lot of personal family issues. He doesn't have any siblings, was the only child, but the money was there. The money and his intelligence is there. However, this guy has a lot of mental issues. And no wonder, because none of the marriages last. And he realized it. That's because of his eccentric nature with a lot of anger, of course it's not going to work out. So guys, this was my unique analysis on this, chart with all the planets conjunct in one house. However, if you're new to my channel, subscribe above, because hey, I'm going to be bringing this cool, unique stuff in this channel. And if you want to know more about astrology, check out my link below. Check out my book there, Astrology at the Speed of Light. Otherwise, I'm going to see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.